Hello, everyone. Welcome back to How Come. I'm sitting here with two New York City producer comedians. They produce shows, they perform all over the city, and they both have something about them that you wouldn't know just by looking at them. One of them is a trans woman, and the other is from Staten Island. You guys, welcome my guests this week, Jeena Bloom and Pauline Murphy.
Thank you. Thank you. Hyped to be here all the way from Staten Island, yes.
You couldn't tell because we both dress like trannies, so
It's just typical Staten Island culture.
How come I can't achieve? How come I can't achieve? I'm rolling up my sleeves. Oh baby, I believe these guests can help, 'cause I can't do it by myself. I wanna jizz.
Jeena and I were just talking on the balcony because we were having a little smoke before
yes, we were.
the pod, as you do. And you were saying how your mom had was getting ready for you to be married and wanted you to have babies and stuff.
Yeah, so 5 kids in my family. I'm the middle.
Mm-hmm.
Older brother, older sister had babies in their 20s, and they're quite a bit older than me. And
Okay.
my mom would be like, "You need to get married. You need," in her Filipino accent, so it's much funnier when she says it. But she'd keep telling me, "I need to get married. I need to have kids," and I just want to be like, "Mom, there's a fundamental issue because this was before all the transition stuff. This is before I started dyeing my hair blonde and fucking dudes 7 days out of a week.
Natural blonde.
I am not a natural
I feel
blonde.
deceived.
As the Dark Roots Through Your Head show too.
I dyed this stripe.
Exactly, me too. So she wanted that. She's like, "You have to get married. Each of my kids has to have kids." This is like a Filipino thing.
Mm-hmm.
Filipino moms want to be grandmas. They want they want a brood of little Catholics running around. And I was just like, "Mom, we need to really talk about something before you even worry about kids."
Yeah.
Because there's something a little bit deeper that I need to
You were
talk
never
about.
into girls.
I am into girls.
Okay.
I have been with plenty of women. I have actually, if you consider the relationships I've had, I've been in more relationships, or at least more of my time in relationships with women. But that's 8 women and an uncountable number of men. After a while, they just run into one giant dick, and that's it. So it's because men, they aren't good at relationships, and men aren't good at relationships with trans women at all. So if I want someone to stick around, they usually are a lady.
Yeah.
But if I want someone to not stick around, that's usually a dude, and I kind of like them to not stick around most of the time. So
You do?
I do.
Were you relationshiping at an early age?
No. I had I think my first relationship was at 24 or something like that.
And when did you start your transition?
Not to 2 years ago or 3 years ago. Even before I started doing comedy, I had started doing this, but that was when I moved to New York 3 years ago, and I started transitioning a month after I moved here. And so I've only been out for 2 years, so this is all new.
Oh,
Yours is relatively,
Yeah, relatively new, yeah.
Oh my God. This is this is it.
Exactly.
It surprised me when I found out it was so recent.
Yeah,
for you. It just
definitely.
Seems like you're been doing this shit.
Yeah, I
for
just
decades.
born to it,
Yeah.
It came to me naturally because I was always a little fruity. As a little boy, I would get catcalled and by other older boys.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember.
Wait, where was this that you grew up?
This was back in Indiana when I was getting catcalled in junior high. Then I moved to Florida freshman year of high school, and neither of those places is a good place to be trans.
But the guys who were doing the catcalling, were they trying to fuck?
I'm fascinated by that. Indiana
right?
catcalling. Are
Catcalling.
hillbilly gay dudes?
Yeah, so it was hillbillies, and I remember the first time it happened, they were just catcalling, and then they realized who I was. And then it became teasing, but it was still catcalling.
Wait, did at first they think you were a woman?
At first I thought I was some girl that lived in the building. 'Cause
Okay.
We lived in this
Okay.
lived in this giant apartment building near Indiana University. It had something 600 units. So people were coming and going all the time.
Did you have long hair? What was...
I did have long hair, but I was proportioned and I moved like a girl. I just sort of naturally just kind of moved around,
You had
and
a feminine
a feminine
Swagger to
to me. Yeah, and then I had
Feminine gait.
a feminine gait.
Yes.
And I had like these little shorts on that I thought were great, but they were apparently highly faggy, and it got me noticed.
Yeah.
Nice.
I mean, yeah, so you were just dressing like yourself, but did you have any idea at the time that you wanted or that you felt like a woman?
The weirdest part is that is when I really understood it that summer. Like I think it was between 6th and 7th grade when all of that was happening. Like I'd always been kind of girly, but I didn't really kind of have a vocabulary for it.
Right.
And then, you're
just like, I want to wear cute stuff.
Yeah.
And I want to walk like this, and I want to talk like this.
Exactly. And I want to have like long hair and like,
Yeah.
and identify with the girls on TV and not like the boy stuff. And
Yeah.
like, I make my little action figures have relationships and not fight wars. Like
Yeah,
that.
yeah,
They would have
make
like
love, not war.
Exactly. They'd have like gay marriages and like
Aww.
they were little,
And sex.
And
They didn't
sex.
put that in
Gotta
Toy
have
Story.
sex.
there was a lot of sex going on, a lot of gay sex going on because they were GI Joes, so it was only like 3 girls in the whole like thing, and like I wanted to be them too much to let them like get passed around by all 45
yeah.
dudes. So
Yeah.
it's like let's let everyone just be a little bit gay.
And
that
you
would
had
be
like
great.
empathy. for
I had
them.
empathy for them. Yes. The only three women on the army base. So like
Did they have? Wait, they actually have female GI Joe?
they did. Yeah,
Oh,
they had like 3
man.
or 4, and like. And like they always dressed really flamboyantly, and I think there was one that had hair similar to yours,
Of course.
Pauline, the big flaming red hair.
She wants to be noticed on
She
the base.
wants to be noticed on the base. She's her code name is Daddy
you can't
Issues.
hide me with this camouflage.
There's a code red on the base. She just fucks 8 people. It's fun. It's a good life.
Yeah, you would just
Yeah.
want to put on your shorts, and then guys would assume that
And
you were a
guys
girl,
would assume that
and they'd
I
be
was
like,
a girl, and they would shout because we had these high balconies. So all they really saw was like, someone about 5'2" with a good ass and like little tiny girly shorts. So
Filipino booty is real.
Filipino booty is real. Yeah, absolutely. And like, so they would catcall, and I would turn, and they'd be like, "Oh my God, it's this kid from fucking gym class that never gets picked, to play basketball." And then they would tease me, but they would still catcall, and the difference wouldn't be all that much. And at the same time, I'm like watching music videos, and I'm like identifying with the women, not as like sexual beings, but I'm like, I wonder where she gets that outfit from. I wonder what she's doing after the shoot. Is she just like trying to make it? Like, what's her life like? I identified with the women that I saw in pop culture.
I always think about. I'm like, what is Christina Aguilera doing right now?
Yeah,
What's her day to
Is
day?
she getting her
exactly.
nails done? Probably.
I hope she's
Exactly.
getting a foot rub somewhere.
Do you remember like The Fabulous Life on VH1?
Yeah.
There was like Fabulous Life of Christina Aguilera, and she got her nails done like every day and her hair done and I was like, oh wow, that really is a fabulous life. But also,
that is a fabulous
don't you
life.
get bored?
For me, it's
having
like a
your hand-
chore to go get my
Yeah,
hair
like
and my
having
nails
your
done. That's
hands
why-
in someone else's hands for a while. Like you can't even
Yeah,
text.
yeah. I'm not a big fan of like the really invasive like paraffin wax like manicures.
Oh, no.
That's too much. Yeah.
You feel like you're like mummified.
Yeah, I like when I first came out, I wanted to try like everything. I was like,
Yeah.
oh, waxing, let's try that out. Let's try the full deluxe mani pedi, and like I just like all of the girl stuff. And I went to
You
the most
spent all of your money.
extreme. Oh yeah,
Yeah.
it's expensive. The most extreme versions of it, and then a lot of it was fucking painful and not necessary. So
Were you hooking up with dudes before?
like sometimes, the issue that I had, and I'm so glad that we're on your podcast
Yeah.
to talk about this because it's perfect. Is that when I was living as perceived as male, I didn't enjoy sex at all.
Duh.
Whether, exactly.
Yeah.
Whether it was men, women, anything. I enjoyed some things. I certainly enjoyed physical stimulation on my junk, but like
Mentally, you weren't in
I
it.
wasn't in it.
Yeah.
Yeah, my body was wrong. So I could never really perform.
And that didn't matter if you were with a man or a woman at the time?
And it did not
No.
matter.
Okay.
It did not matter because what I had to do to even feel right was to like close my eyes and go into the back of my brain and reimagine myself at that time. Like reimagine how I was and how
Yeah.
I was shaped and how I looked. And that's almost impossible to enjoy sex when you're trying to like
Visualize yourself
Visualize
as someone
something,
else,
yeah.
and then you can't even be making the same noises as the person that you want to be and that you
No.
are. Like,
yeah.
you have to make like man grunts and be like, oh yeah, right?
yeah. That's
Where
no, it's a
you-
lot.
Yeah,
There's
yeah.
already a
No.
lot
Be
going
like,
on.
oh yeah.
No, oh my God, that's so true. Because like I would be like, ugh, and like,
I
and
don't
like,
know what to say.
yeah, it was, and the problem was I would get so fucking worked up over like approaching sex. Like, if I were dating a girl and we were out for a little while and things were starting to progress, then I would get freaked out because I know that we were going to get to a point where sex would be like expected, like it would be a thing that would make sense for this relationship. And then I would be like, oh, well, I can't fucking do it. And then her being, you know, a normal sexual woman would have to like go find someone who could. And with men, it was like, I can just get banged. I can get fucked all day long.
Right.
That's fine.
Right.
I enjoy the shit out of that because then I can just literally just go in the back of my head and like think about anything I want. But it's
Well, getting banged, you can just go into the. I'm
You
sorry,
can't.
Pauline.
you can't.
Can we talk?
Of
Have
what?
you ever been banged in the ass and just been able to zone out?
I
mean-
bet that there's a lot of Catholic women that can do that.
I'm sure there's plenty. I have friends that are big fans. You know what? Maybe if I had like a nicer ass that was more plush, like I'd enjoy it more. But I'm like a little Irish bitch. Like,
Yeah.
it's not my preferred.
There's no cushion.
It's not my preferred avenue, so
Yeah.
to speak. And I'm
No.
also very tall, so it's like you gotta just be in like
Like
lanky,
hitting
lanky
like
leg
bones
positions.
with a baseball
and
bat.
I'm just like the pussy's right there. Just
Yeah.
Hey, I feel it. If I had the option to like have that other input, I would totally
Yeah,
use
right.
it. But it's like, you know, you work with what you have.
Yeah,
so
I got the 2 USB ports there. Right
yeah,
there.
exactly.
Also, it's
Exactly.
like now, like if I'm expected to finish you off after a little bit, like now we're doing ass to mouth, and that's a whole nother
That's,
situation.
yeah.
Yeah.
That's
yeah.
not fine for me ever. I
that's
don't
not
want
it.
my. But this is what I was gonna say about you not being able to like visualize yourself. Like I can completely relate with that. I'm sure you can too. Like I'm always picturing myself as like how disgusting I am. Like at the moment, like I've not shaved my legs or I have like a pimple or whatever. Like
Yeah.
Or like that angle where you're like, oh, he wants me to get on top, but like I don't want to get on top.
yeah,
My chin is
now
like
you
this now.
see 19 chins.
I had 4 beers tonight. This is not my best.
But like being like, oh, you're attracted to this dude.
Yeah.
Like I'm not even attracted. Like actually, would you fuck yourself as your former self?
Oh, that
Ooh.
depends on when I would find me. So I was, for the most
As
part,
a child? No, just kidding.
as that hot 6th grader, yes, I would tap my own ass.
With those hot pants on.
Those little tiny shorts, yeah. For most of my life, I was overweight. I think I weighed about 215. I'm 5'9", so that's a lot to carry. And I just didn't care how I looked, and I didn't dress very well. I would not fuck me.
Okay.
I maybe if I bought me like a car or something, I would fuck me. But
So like current you wouldn't fuck old you, but reverse would old you be thrilled to fuck your current
oh
self?
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
Old
there we
me
go.
would be all
100%.
over it. But there was like this period where the year that I was in transition but not out, I was fucking pretty. I was a pretty man for a year. I looked like an H&M model for like a year. And like I briefly considered like I could just be a hot dude for like the rest of my life. See how that feels, because I've never been that either. But I was like, no.
Oh, the privilege that would have come.
I know. If I was like, how did I become this person? Why didn't I just live like this? Why didn't I just watch my weight the whole time? Like,
yeah.
Well, that's how you know that like that's you having to find what's the truest version of yourself, because
Yeah.
you didn't go with the easiest
Right.
version
Yeah.
of
Yeah,
yourself.
yeah.
There was like this temptation to be like, oh, I could just live as this hot guy, and then and then I was like, no, that's fine. I'll just be a woman and be miserable.
Yeah, I'll see that
Woman
happen a lot
stuff.
with like trans people I'm friends with. Like they've been attractive the whole time, and then it's like, oh, but you've just been this super hot gay dude. Like,
yeah.
what?
Yeah.
And then,
Yeah.
and like that, now it's a lot of money.
Were you able to like masturbate easily a lot? I mean,
Yes. So that's how I knew that I wasn't like physically dysfunctional.
Yeah,
So
okay.
like I could definitely jack it. And
when did you start jacking it?
It's funny because I didn't ejaculate come at all until I was 18 or 19. And I was the first guy I ever hooked up with, and I blew him, and then he jacked me off, and I came like a fucking rocket. And I was like, oh fuck, wow.
Wait, and you hadn't like
I had never
ejaculated to
come.
that point?
I'd maybe like had some wet dreams or something like that, but I had
Or like
never,
little orgasms without
like-
anything coming out?
Yeah, little things like that, like, you know, little like accidents of like life. But like I'd never had an orgasm. I'd never
Yeah.
come.
He forced it out of you.
He forced it out of me, and like seriously, I was
Coming of
laying-
age story.
Coming of age story, exactly. And I was laying on my back, and like my jizz hit the roof.
What?
Yeah,
Wait,
like
were you in a car?
No, I was
With a
in like
ceiling.
this small. It was a much smaller place than this, but it was like maybe an 8-foot roof and 8-foot ceiling, and I was like on like a raised bed, so it had 4 feet to go, and it hit,
That is.
and it
That's
hit
That's
this
got some velocity
that
behind
shit
it.
4 feet in the air, like straight
It
up.
was 18 years of
18
cum
years
backed
of
up,
cum
that
backed up.
shot
Yeah.
into the ceiling, hit the neighbor in the asshole.
Yeah. It was like, wow, oh my God. I need to be doing that all the time. And like, what have I been doing? I've been able to do this for like 7 years, and like I've just now figured it out. Like
Discovering your spidey senses.
exactly. Exactly.
Oh my God. But it's so rare to do it with another person the first time.
I have had a very strange sex life. Yeah. So like it was my sex life has been largely backwards and fucked up the whole time. So
Okay.
like the fact that my very first orgasm was with a guy that I met over like some, you know, internet message board.
Is that how you met?
Yeah, we met over some internet message board, and like I was in college and I was exploring some trans thing that they had in Tampa at the time. It was like some underground like sex
Transpa.
shit. Yeah, transpa back in the day.
And wait, and this was when you were 18 still? This is when you
I was
were
18, 19,
Okay.
something like that.
Okay.
I was out of high school, and I got my student loans. The first time I got my student loan refund check, and I went and I bought a bunch of women's clothes with it. That was the first thing I ever did with my money. I
my
bought a bunch of
God.
like makeup, and I bought a bunch of stuff because I was going to transition. My original plan was to transition in the freshman year of college and say fuck it to everything. So I bought all this stuff to get ready to do that, and then I was like, I'm ready to start fucking dudes. I started getting fucked by dudes.
Mm-hmm.
And this guy wasn't great. Like he wasn't attractive, and he wasn't, and he had a really fucking annoying voice, and like
So what attracted you?
nothing. Like
He
it was,
had
it
a
was,
dick.
it was a random
He's
internet
here.
hookup. It was like come over and let's fuck, and like people with dicks do this all the time. This is nothing new. So like we often fuck sight unseen, and like just ask any gay guy you know. But like but then he wasn't great. Like and his dick tasted weird.
Oh.
It was a funky
Dude,
dick.
he's checking off all the
Yeah,
non-boxes.
yeah.
What-
The
Wait,
problem was-
question though.
yeah.
Were you telling anyone besides the guys you were hooking up with?
Not at that time. It took me a little
No.
while to like figure stuff out.
Okay. So this was mostly a secret life.
Very much a secret life. It was this, and then like on the internet, and that's pretty much
And
all I
even
had.
you knowing you were a woman from 6th grade was a secret life.
Absolutely.
From siblings, friends, everyone.
From everyone.
Oh my God.
That's
Did you have a
exhausting.
diary?
I had various things like that. I had various notebooks and like journals and diaries and things that I would write into, and then like
And then like burn them?
and then burn them. Yeah,
Oh
that's
my
totally
God,
yeah.
Burn
You would
books.
you would totally just like get rid of them and like throw them away and burn them because like
You're like, if anybody ever found this.
if anybody ever found it, and then like you'd feel guilty about having these feelings or like try to put them aside. Like there were many times, this is a totally normal thing that trans people do all the time. Before they come out, they would like throw away all their shit. They would like burn all evidence that they ever did this because they wanted to be normal.
Yeah.
And you know, you go back and forth and do stuff like that for years, and that's how I lived most of my life until
Like you keep
3
hitting
years
those
ago.
walls and thinking like, no, I'm going to go back, and then you keep
Yeah,
realizing, no,
yeah.
this is what I have to
this
do,
is
and
what
it's
I
like
have
it builds
to
up
do.
and crashes.
And I did so much shit just to avoid being this whore that I should have been the
Loving it.
whole time. Like,
Yes.
yeah, I'm happy with who I am now, but like I lost a lot of time fucking.
Yeah.
I could have been fucking for a while.
Wait, do you remember your first orgasm, Pauline? Have you?
See, I'm weird. I've only had, I can count on my hands, like pseudo, like, I think we've had this conversation before you even started this podcast, or when you were starting it, and I was like, oh my God, I love
Yeah.
this premise. I'm so
Yeah,
into it,
yeah,
because
yeah.
I have a very unorgasmic life experience.
Yes.
Like, I can think back to like 3 or 4 times where I'm like, okay, I think that was it. Ever.
Wow.
Ever. Yeah. First one, though, was in my freshman year of college. A guy that I was into for so long that, like, we always missed chances with each other because one would be in a relationship, yada, yada, yada. Until one time we finally hung out. I had the dorm to myself. And I just remember I watched the movie The Dark Knight because it's like 3 hours long. And then we just started hooking up and then he started going down on me and he was amazing.
Okay.
Like, amazing. And he did it for like the entirety of the movie. And I was like, oh. So yeah, that would be the first. And then it didn't happen again for a long time. Maybe another year.
Oh my God.
No.
Was there something specific that he was doing? Like, do you remember or was it just like the feeling that he was so good so you could just like let loose?
It was that, I think, and then the fact of it was when I was living on my own because I'm in the dorm. So now I'm like comfortable. I'm in my own space. I don't have to worry about anybody coming home. And at that point, even if a roommate had come home, it's someone in college. That's not no one's gonna.
They're not going to judge you for
they're
that.
just going to go into the other room. But I think it was also another thing for me. A big thing is just being so attracted to this person.
Yeah.
Because I remember the second guy that it happened with, kind of similar physical type. Like it was like dark hair, dark eyes, kind of shaggy. Like I like that, like tall, dark, and handsome, like
Men, right
vibe. Yeah, hell yeah.
If that is you, right to
Yeah.
Pauline.
You should have fucked me 2 years ago.
Right? Yeah, you do have
was
that whole
right-
complexion.
I was right on it.
Yep. But so and then so
You
then
could still put a
since
wig
then-
on and like
Yeah,
This is
like
fair.
a fake beard.
Just let the hair grow out a little bit.
Yeah.
I'll be your fake beard.
There you go.
just do drag.
do man drag.
Yeah. But yeah, so that was it. There was that one, and then, God, when would even be number 3? And this is all going. College was almost 10 years ago at this point, so that was 2009 and 10.
Yeah.
And now we're in 2018.
Damn.
Yeah.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah. And I'm not a person that masturbates. I don't like it. I never did.
What about it don't you like?
I think it's just the same thing about maybe the attraction part. Like I like the experience of being with another person and being swept up in that moment with someone that you're so attracted to.
Totally.
That's attracted to you. And for me, I'm just like, me. Like, it doesn't work.
I used to be the same way where I was like, "Ugh, I'm only going to be turned on if like there's a guy there. And if I'm masturbating, it's because I'm alone. It's because someone just rejected me probably.
No, and that's why I didn't come until I was 19 years old, because it wasn't necessarily because of like a lack of someone to be attracted to, but same sort of thing. Like I didn't feel like masturbation was for me, and then coming was really fun. So I was like, I don't want to wait and have to deal with this guy's, another funky tasting dick just to come. So I'll just do it myself.
Funky tasting dick. Have you ever encountered
Was it the
another
skin
similar
of the
tasting
dick that tasted funky?
You
or
know,
the cum?
It was the skin. It was the whole thing.
Did he have a lot of pubes?
He did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's probably because it was like sweaty.
Yeah, sweaty and oily and like probably like, pushed up against stuff for like hours and hours. And
Oh man, he didn't do like a courtesy like.
he didn't do a courtesy
wipe.
like, yeah.
Yeah.
Bird bath.
Yeah. Exactly. Bird bath.
Exactly.
Just yeah.
I know that you have an interesting preference. Well, I don't want to say interesting, but you have a specific preference
Yes.
of penis, Pauline.
It's not necessarily a preference because it's so rare here in America because we're the one country where this is normalized. So there we go. That brings me back to definitely number 3 or number 4 was
Okay.
I have had great experiences with men who are uncircumcised, which
Okay.
is
Yeah.
not the norm and not easy to encounter here in America. And so many people are completely like, oh, like, what do you mean? Like, this is like everybody's freaked out by it. But all the rest of the world, for the most part, like they think it's crazy that we are that they circumcise men here. I mean, aside from like it's a Jewish thing too, right? Like
yeah,
Jewish
like I'm a Jew, so like it's not
just how it's supposed
to be. Yeah. And I do a lot of polls on the How Come page, and one of them was like, would you circumcise someone, like whatever? And then somebody asked me, they wrote to me and they were like, would you? And so I wrote a response and I was like, yeah, I definitely like circumcise my cute little boy. Has to have a cute little dick or whatever, and like it's way more hygienic. And I just said that because that's my preference, and also that's what I had heard is that it's cleaner, there's less smegma.
that goddamn word.
Yeah, that center of the Tootsie Roll. Like, that's what I thought. And then this guy wrote me and he was like, as somebody with a sex podcast, like you shouldn't be spreading that information because like it's not true. And also like I've been ridiculed for my dick, like for being uncircumcised like forever. And I was like, oh man, like that sucks. Like I don't want anybody
to feel alienated.
Dick shaming. Yeah, that's how schools get shot up.
Exactly. Let's not shame dicks.
They left my dick in the shower.
Yeah. She left out my dick in the tent.
It's interesting though. Like, there's actually like, if you look into it, there's like some little tiny activist groups like here in this country, but even like across the globe that are like hardcore against circumcising your children.
Oh,
and
yeah.
they're trying to like
They're
like,
in
it's
Union
like-
Square.
Yeah, and they're like, and even like exactly like men that will be like, I didn't choose to get mutilated,
Yeah.
like or whatever,
Yeah.
like don't bleed, all this crazy stuff. And then I've seen like arguments online for when people just get on, like the average, say like American woman should be like, ew, it's nasty, of course you got to circumcise. And then like there'll be European woman like, sorry that your men are mutilated and we have men as they're naturally meant to be. And it's very interesting just to see the back and forth.
And you like them uncircumcised because of the look or because that's what you grew up fucking, or
No, I
you
only
like that it makes a European man more exotic?
I've only been with like 3 or 4 men who've been uncircumcised, and
Okay.
it for so like I also just link those to better experiences. Like, granted, the
Okay.
guys that they were attached to were good people, and we had good sexual experiences. But I always, since it was with all of them, it was better. It stuck in my mind, like maybe that's just because that's how a penis is meant to be, and biologically maybe it's just meant better for the vagina. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, now that I'm thinking about it, like it definitely like it makes it more sensitive, that extra skin, right?
Yes. Yeah,
So maybe if it's more sensitive, they're more delicate with it and like go slower and not as like pound, 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 pound.
I
And
can
that's
see that.
it's that
better
that's
for like
been-
a
yeah.
woman.
Or they'll ease into things more, and then like the moment
Yeah.
the rhythm is more matched, instead of just like a guy that's gonna pound out for 5
Yeah.
minutes because he has a more desensitized dickhead,
Yeah.
because it's just been rubbing against, the skin's missing, it's been
Or if
rubbing
his
against underwear his whole life.
dickhead is rubbing, or if the dickhead,
I love the word dickhead.
I know,
Dickhead
it's
is
the
great.
best.
I love it.
Or if the dickhead is rubbing on your clit, you know
Right.
how like they'll do that sometimes
Yeah,
to
yeah,
like
yeah.
lube it up. Like sometimes they'll like jam it, but if it's a more sensitive dickhead, it'll be like
Yeah, it's just like, yeah,
stroking.
exactly.
Like,
Interesting.
yeah,
Interesting.
this is something to ponder.
That is interesting.
I've only fucked one uncircumcised dick, and
Okay.
the only reason I know it was uncircumcised is because the guy I was attached to was a Ukrainian model, and so I was like, "There's no way."
Oh, there you
Right,
go.
yeah. But I didn't look because I didn't want to. I just I
You're
didn't
just
look.
like in the dark, and you're like a sheet up, and you're like, no, just thank you.
There was no sheets, but yeah, I just like I kind of just like looked away. I didn't want to see it because I had heard that they were like so gross.
No.
I mean, they're okay. They're
Well,
not.
silly
Sex in the
looking.
City paints them out as disgusting.
Oh.
Sex in the City is problematic in a lot of ways.
Yeah, no, now we've discovered that.
Yes,
but
now
I feel
we
like
have, yeah.
a lot of us grew up on it and we were like, you know.
But well, and Remy and I were talking about this before the podcast. Like for me, it's like because I own a dick
Yeah.
that is circumcised, and I also enjoy dicks, and those are generally circumcised. It's a little bit difficult for me to like get into the whole thing. Like I understand the arguments that the men are like, you shouldn't do this, and I agree. Especially a child that can't consent. That's not cool.
Right.
But like my lifetime of like reaching down and being like, oh, okay, there's my circumcised dick. Cool. That's how it's supposed to feel. And then like most of the dicks I've enjoyed on other people have been also that way.
Yeah.
It's hard for me, but I really appreciate your enthusiasm, and you're the best evangelist for uncircumcised dicks
The
that I
only
have
one.
yet to meet. And the thing that like really put it over the top for me was when Pauline shared with the entire internet that Tom Hardy is uncircumcised. And
Hell yeah, he is.
Tom Hardy, the actor?
The
Tom Hardy,
actor.
the actor that plays
Yeah.
Bane.
How
that's
do
gonna
you
play
know that?
Venom, because he's done nude scenes in a
Oh.
couple of movies. I mean,
Great.
I have a picture. I did meet him, but like unfortunately, I didn't.
did not see his
I
dick.
didn't, I didn't fact check. in
Okay.
real life. I posted the picture though, and I got like a bunch of messages. They're like, "No, you didn't." And I'm like, "Do you think that I would even still have social media if I
Yeah.
fucked Tom Hardy? I would
No.
just be like, sorry, I'm elevated. I'm on a new plane.
I'm better than you now.
Yeah.
Goodbye.
Yeah, yeah.
That's it.
Um,
Leaving this place."
That's so funny.
Wait, my friend actually sent me a picture today. There's some bus that drives around the city, and it's an advertisement to promote uncircumcised dicks.
Okay.
And it just
That is
says,
wonderful.
Yeah, I've had a guy scream at me in Union Square about, he's like, do you plan on circumcising your kids? And I was like, yeah.
He was one of the activists?
Yeah. Yeah.
how does he know you're
But
going to
with
have kids?
Judy, well, that's the other thing.
Making a lot of assumptions.
Right?
Yeah.
Just assuming I'm a breeder? Like, whatever. It'll load eventually. But either way, it's this whole full bus that just has like a man in underwear and a woman leaning over him. And I think it says like, foreskin, a girl can dream. So,
What the?
I
Oh,
swear to
that's
God.
wonderful.
I've seen it in person driving around the city, and I don't know what they're selling. Like, I don't know how
They're selling foreskin.
Selling
they're selling
foreskin,
awareness.
yeah.
Like,
Do you miss your foreskin? Is your dick cold in the winter? Then
Here-
get this.
Exactly. You know, they have vaginal rejuvenation surgery. They should have a reforeskinning.
Yeah,
see, it
why
says
not?
foreskin, a girl can hope.
Okay.
And then the company
we'll post
is called
this photo on the Facebook
Yes.
page.
the company's called Foreskin Life.
Foreskin life.
Hashtag
Foreskin life. You guys
All about
hashtag foreskin life on all of on your social media this week.
I'm all about it.
Yeah, no, I guess I've the guy that I did bang though, he was a conscientious lover. So I will
Yeah.
say that.
Interesting. Good.
Yeah. What was I gonna say to you?
A Ukrainian man that like took compassion. Those things don't
But
line
it was
up.
like, he's like a model.
Oh, true. Okay.
Yeah.
It's like, I can't afford bad reviews on my Instagram.
Yeah.
That's not a Ukrainian accent at all.
I can't afford bad reviews on my Instagram.
Authentic Ukrainian
Wait, do you
accent.
guys remember that app Lulu that existed
Yes,
very briefly, where it was
yes,
like Yelp
yes,
reviews for sex
Yes.
experiences?
Oh,
with
yeah,
people?
that thing,
and men
yeah.
in general. Yes.
Whew,
I
that
had a
was
boyfriend
wonderful.
at the time, but the reviews would still come in while we were dating, and I was
Oh,
like,
no.
"Oh God!"
What'd you do to Jenny? So that website caused so many problems.
Yeah, but in a fun way.
Oh yeah, that was wonderful.
Do guys freak out when you tell them you're from Staten Island?
No,
No.
Just of course not.
No, but similar question. Have you ever been hooking up with a guy, and like at what point do you feel it's your responsibility to
let them know what's
to let
going on
them in
downstairs?
on the situation?
At no point do I feel it's my responsibility, but I do,
Okay.
because I don't have a problem with it. It's who I am.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
And I say this to everyone that asks. The word transgender is an adjective. It describes the type of woman that I am.
Mhm.
Like, I'm also a half Filipino woman. I'm also a comedian that happens to be a woman. So there's a lot of adjectives you can stick in front of my physical being that it describes who I am, and transgender is just one of them. So I don't want to hook up with some guy that's going to look at my body and be like, ugh, get away from me. That's,
Right.
I don't want that.
Yeah.
There's safety issues too, because that's how trans women get hurt. But even any type of rejection based on a part of me that I don't feel ashamed about,
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to deal with a man that feels that way. So I will let them know well in advance. And it's usually, on a dating profile, it's the first word you see
Right.
that I put up, because I want guys to accept me for who I am. So, like, why would I not tell them exactly who I am?
Right,
Yeah.
like if you're gonna get intimate with somebody, you want them to be there with you, with all of you.
Yeah, exactly. So it's not ever my responsibility. And there's no one's responsibility to, like, talk about their body if they don't want to.
Totally.
But I do.
Yeah.
And it hasn't stopped me from getting laid.
Clearly
I will
not. No, you're
thank you.
killing it.
I'm
Love your stories.
racking them up. But yeah, so, and like, it's good to feel wanted too. It makes sex a lot better when someone is really into you. And I don't want to be fetishized. I don't want to be objectified, but I also like having someone who's really into me and my body.
Yeah.
And so of course I'm going to tell them, what they should expect.
Do you ever long for a vagina, or is that something that's never crossed your mind?
When I put on Lululemon leggings or
Mm-hmm.
or a bikini bottom or something that is designed to lay flat against my body, yes.
You're like, God, I wish I had a camel toe right
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. This-
Said no woman ever.
Said
Right.
no woman
Said-
ever, because let me tell you, Lulus don't look good on us either.
I know there's a whole other
Yeah.
issue there, but like
Yeah.
It's like a hot dog bun.
Yeah, but it's like
Fucking beef curtains.
there's like, all right. Well, you guys have the roast beef sandwiches, but like I have like the sack of coins or something down
Yes.
there.
Moose knuckle.
Yeah,
Moose
the
camel toe, and then there's
Yes,
moose
the
yes,
knuckle.
moose
yes,
knuckle,
yes.
exactly. So it's like, no one's happy with what's going on between their legs, I guess. But like, yeah, there's like things that would make my life easier, and I know trans women that have had the surgery or really want to have the surgery, and they love it. And I know trans women that are like very much like, no, I'm never gonna have the surgery. This is who I am. I have a dick. Great.
Mm-hmm.
And they feel very passionate, and other people are very passionate. I'm kind of ambivalent. Like, I'm going to have a good life now either way.
Yeah.
So if I decide to get a vag in a year or two, it's going to be because I feel like it can make my life like maybe 5% better.
Even better.
The only
Okay.
thing is like, I just wonder if the orgasms are going to still be as good. Right? Like,
Okay, so this is...
Yeah, like I don't know the anatomical,
Yeah.
like surgical result
if
of that.
I had
like,
the choice and I don't have a dick, I
Right.
would like a thing that like legit jizzes. Like, yeah,
Yeah.
we squirt, but every time I sniff it to make sure it's not urine. You know, like
Yeah, no, I
it would
totally
be
get
cool
that.
to be able to make cum.
to have an actual manifestation of
Yeah.
like, this is me.
Yeah, like
I would love it.
So they take like the tip of the dick and they make that into the clit when they do the surgery.
Yeah.
They basically turn everything inside out. And yes, you can have an orgasm. And when I started taking my hormones and my testosterone suppressant medication, I lost the ability to come, to jizz. But upon having a lot of sex, I discovered that I could have like maybe more traditional like feminine orgasms that were like body related
okay.
and things like that. So the coming just became different. But I talked to my doctor a couple of months ago, and I was like, people are really into my dick. They really want it to activate. And I'm dating a lot, and people are really into it. And I'd like to have like a more complete sex life. And so he said, you just take the fucking boner pills, dude. Obviously, he's a doctor. He didn't say take the boner pills.
Yeah.
But like,
I'm like, who was your doctor from Staten
right,
Island?
exactly. Like,
Take the fucking boner pills, dude.
yeah, but like he said the medical professional version of that sentence.
It'll stimulate your penis.
Yes, exactly. And so he gave them to me, or he prescribed them, and I got them, and they fucking work. So I hate to brag, but I'm gonna.
Okay.
I get both kinds of orgasms now. I get
Oh,
I
fuck
get-
you.
Oh man, you're like a superhero.
yeah, that's right. I've got
Sexual superhero.
Exactly. I've got the power.
So you can do multiples too.
I can do multiples, and I can do different kinds, and there is a difference.
You're like an X-Men character.
Exactly. I'm a super soldier of sex now.
Oh my
Like-
god.
Like I can come from being fucked and have that like ripply sort of like romantic Charlotte Bronte like literary orgasm that cis women have been having, hopefully for a while. And then I can also have the the powerful like centered cum, the jizz effect.
Yeah.
I can have that, and I can have that
Spider-Man.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It looks different now. There's no sperm in there, so
Right.
it's just like liquid. It's like coming.
Pre-cum.
It's like pre-cum. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's all it is. It's
Would
like
it be similar to like men that have had a vasectomy?
Probably, yeah.
Probably.
Because I've dated
Probably.
or still date once in a while a guy that has a vasectomy. He's only 29 or 30, and
He just knows he doesn't want to make any
he
more
does. Yeah,
terrible
he's convinced,
people.
Yeah.
He's convinced he never wants children ever. And yeah, and when he comes, he just kind of it's not.
Yes,
There's really no cleanup.
It's like this viscous, like
Yeah.
kind of like
yeah, it's so interesting.
it's kind of like Purell.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I love it though because it's like birth control. Like he took care of the
Yes.
birth control
Yes.
for me.
It's so nice.
Get you a man that clipped his own dick.
That's right.
I love it.
Literally, can you all clip your dicks and then just keep your sperm in a jar somewhere?
Yeah, just
like,
keep it in the freezer.
What's
You
weird is
wanna have
vasectomy
kids.
is reversible. So like
Yeah,
at
they're
some
all
point, at
reversible.
some point he could unpinch the
Yeah.
vest, whatever the hell it is.
clip your fucking dicks,
Yeah,
guys.
man.
Like, why
There you
are we
go.
doing
Right,
this?
and then we could all be raw dogging. And
Yeah.
then-
all raw dog until you want to have kids.
right,
And
and then
there you go.
Make it easy for us. We'll make it easy for you. We promise. We'll let you put
Yeah.
them in all the holes.
I do have a small amount of fertile material coming out of me. It's not all. There's no way you can completely suppress it. With a vasectomy, you can, but like because this is organic, some of it will come out. So conceivably, I could knock up a cis woman. I have
Do you
sex
hook up
with them
with? Yeah.
sometimes. Usually, it's been in the context of couples and like
Okay.
and like because they're like
You're like the couple's whisperer.
I'm the
Yeah.
couple's whisperer. Yeah,
Something for everyone.
You've been an
Basically.
anniversary present
Yeah,
multiple times, I'm sure.
I am the anniversary present, the birthday present, and I'm fine with that. I had an experience where a couple came to my place and the girl and I were fucking around, and then she got on me and she just basically fucked me. And I came and then we were like, okay, that was great. And then like they left and like this guy was like didn't even get to open his beer. So it was like
Oh.
he basically just watched us fuck and then felt bad and then left. And I felt fucking great because like I realized this after the fact, but this woman was the first woman that had my dick in her that I actually enjoyed and I was able to complete, and the first time in my entire life, and it happened so quickly.
That you weren't even thinking
I wasn't
about
even
it during.
thinking about it. Yeah.
What do you think that was about it? Like, because it was because that's you living as
Your truth.
your
Yeah.
life now.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
you went into the situation like knowing you were going to be like this sexual being and comfortable and confident and like
Yeah,
okay.
that was I was who I was, and she was really into me, and he was really into me, and like they were treating me like it was interesting. She was treating me like a girl, but she was also riding me. It was
Like a guy.
yeah, but like or maybe like a girl with a strap on. Like
Yeah.
I was definitely in the top position. But it was still like a very feminine experience, and I was like, "Oh, this is how it's supposed to work." Fucking A, cool.
Yeah.
I had somebody in a roast joke recently. They were like, "Oh, Pauline, you're really good at pretending to be a huge whore on Facebook."
Literally.
Yeah.
And I was like, "You're so right."
Yeah. No, I mean,
Like, I'm very open about joking about sexual things, but then I'm like, crickets. Like, I
Yeah.
don't fuck for 8 months at a clip.
But that
Well,
was
that-
still, and like
that was most of my life, though, until 2 years ago.
Yeah.
So
you
I
guys
get it.
are late bloomers.
Yes, exactly. Yeah.
Jeena Bloom. I am too. I mean,
There you go.
yeah.
We're all late bloomers, and here we are just hoeing it up.
Yeah.
It's nice.
Oh, I wish.
No.
I would love to be as slutty as I
want to
as I come off.
I do want to take you on as a special project now to find the inner slut in you.
I feel like my transition in life is gonna be like, I know that I always just want to be this like crazy sex deviant, and I just haven't. And at one day I will transition into that.
yeah.
In the relationships that have been more serious, you've never like communicated like you're not coming or anything.
I've always just kind of I'll always say it like up top whenever I'm with somebody that if we're gonna be consistently having sex, I'll be like, listen, it's just not something that really happens for me. So like, I don't want you to psych yourself up about it. Like, we'll try, and if we go along with that, it happens. But I always have to like bring it up at the beginning, or else like this dude's gonna have a fucking ego meltdown.
Yeah, I didn't bring it up with an ex until we were like 2.5 years in.
Oh wow.
Yeah, he told me he didn't believe in evolution, so I told him I'd never come while we were together,
Oh,
and we were
wonderful.
both very upset that
Oh,
day.
that's amazing.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
Perfect time to share
Yeah,
that.
I was like, I'll share a secret too.
By the way, Dave,
Yeah. Hey, Dave.
we came from monkeys, and I never came from you.
Yeah. Or anyone, but do you have a specific way that you like people to go down on you, like as a woman versus like a man blowjob versus a lady
Yeah.
blowjob? Are they different?
I recently had a sexual hookup with a girl, and she tried to deal with my junk in the way that, because she was bi, she's used to going down on girls too, and she tried to deal with my junk in that way, and
Like she was going down
she
on a
was going down
vagina.
on a vagina, and I think, and she was being nice because she wanted to be like respectful of me.
Yeah.
She wasn't trying like some weird shit, but it didn't really work. Like it's actually kind of the reason why I started taking those boner pills, because that was the one thing I was like, this should feel really good, but it's not. But also, like, I know I'm a girl, but on the other hand, I know that I have a dick, and there are certain ways that any human being with a mouth, boy, girl, whatever, that has blown me, they blow me like they would a guy because that's how the dick is shaped.
It's
That's-
like they're
Right.
just
it's-
anatomically
yeah.
dealing
Yes.
with the penis.
Exactly.
You're a woman, but this is the physics of what's
right,
happening.
Yeah.
but the way that this thing's arranged has nerves, and it feels good to be approached in like that way and not in like that way. So,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm doing hand signals on a podcast, so stupid. But anyway,
You guys get it.
you get it.
You
though.
know.
You
You
get it.
know. You're
You get it.
doing it too.
Sucking the dick versus like licking the clit is two totally different types of activity.
You can
And-
lick a dick, but not much is going to happen.
It's like
That's
it's,
just for flair.
yes,
That's
right. It's like
Yeah.
it's like a little bit of like, we're gonna like do a little bit of dance number. We're gonna do a little tap section, and like
Yeah.
then we're gonna do some swing. And yeah, it's like you just,
interlude.
A little interlude.
exactly a little lick interlude. Yeah, so that's fine. But yeah, if you're going down on me, and this is to all of the How Come audience that really wants to blow me right now, and I'm sure that's all of you.
All of you.
I'm sure it is.
I'm blowing her right now.
Yeah, exactly. Just come on down. Come on down to Remy's. We're all gonna stand in line.
Stand under my grandmother's dining room table and blow Jeena.
Exactly. No better place for it. And yeah, just suck it like a dick. It doesn't matter if it belongs to a lady or not. Just
'Kay.
do what feels good.
That's what I
Dicks are
surmised
universal.
the answer
Yeah.
was, but
yeah.
I have one more question just for you. Do you ever, like, you've had your 4 orgasms.
Yeah.
Do you get bummed, like, that you're not having more?
I get bummed that I'm just not having more sex in general.
Okay.
Because I'm not even like putting my best cunt forward to
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
to even try. Like, for instance, I actually hooked up with a guy a couple weeks ago. I met at the Grizzly Pear.
Oh,
He looked
boy.
totally out of place. He was like a finance bro type and like lost all his friends or something and like wandered in, and I was like, you hot single guy that's not a comic and looks totally out of place. Who are you?
Yeah.
Either way, we hit it off. We hooked up. Everything was great. We had a good time, and like he messaged me the next day. But when I woke up in his place, I had smoked a lot of weed before I went to sleep. So I remembered everything. I know where he's from. I know his music taste. I know his job. I know all his backstory. Couldn't remember his name.
Okay.
Couldn't remember his name, and I was way too embarrassed to say anything. So
Wow.
I literally just called a cab. And I was like, gotta go to work. Bye. And then he's like, we texted a little bit. Totally had an anxiety attack. Had a friend do a reverse number lookup to find out the name.
Yeah,
So I
yeah.
could store it in my phone. And now it's already like at a point where I feel like I fucked up by not answering him for so long. But I kind of feel like hitting, because we had a very good
You
experience.
could hit him up again.
You absolutely can.
Always.
Absolutely can.
Uh-huh.
There is no expiration date for a dude to hear back.
Yeah.
He will
Yeah.
not be offended.
Yeah,
I
and you could all,
guess.
like, even if you haven't been busy, you can just pretend you've been busy.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I mean, he does. Like, we touched on the conversation that I work like 60 hours a week and do comedy. Like, he knows I'm busy. So,
Yeah.
like,
Okay, great.
but we had like such a great like chemistry and experience. Where like, and also, I mean, whatever. I blacked out, but I feel like there was number 5 in there.
Oh my God.
Right, so it's like
Contact
you know how it's like
him.
it's like you don't remember what people say to you, like you don't remember what someone said, but you remember how
But
they
you
made
remember how you
feel.
felt?
Yeah.
Yes.
So like I just remember the next day I walked around and I was like, I feel lighter, and I was like, oh my god.
Yeah.
So I feel like I should follow. That should be
You
like a
should
homework
definitely
assignment. Get a
call that guy.
womanizer and call this guy.
Call that guy.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Oh my God. All right, you guys, this has been really fun. Can you remind people where they can follow you on social media, Jeena Bloom?
Yeah, so you can follow me on Instagram. That's at Jeena Bloom, JEENABLOOM. Or on Twitter, and that's at Hey Jeena Bloom.
Okay, perfect. And Pauline Murphy?
I love that. It's very consistent. Same here. I'm pretty consistent. Well, if you try to find me on Facebook, it's Pauline Murphy. But my Twitter and my Instagram are the same thing, and it's at Whiskey Burrito, which is WHISKEYBURRITO. My 2 favorite things pushed together: Whiskey Burrito.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's where
Hey.
that came from.
I was drunk and high when I made it up in college, and I was like,
Perfect.
this is fun.
You guys, you can always follow us at How Come Podcast. You can follow me at Remy Casimir. And if you like this podcast, come on, rate us, review us, subscribe, do all that stuff. Tell your friends about it. They'll be so happy. I am still angry at several friends who owned a womanizer before I started this podcast.
And never told you?
And never told me. Like, tell your
Bitches.
friends. Help your friends. They need you.
We need to come together.
We all need to come
We
together.
so
all
we
need
can
to
come
come.
together
Oh,
and make
yes.
the world a better place.
Not
Thank
just me.
you.
Not just me.
No.
Everyone else should come.
Yeah, not just Istanbul right here.
Gina's been coming into this country and taking all our orgasms.
Exactly.
You guys, I have to ask this at the end of every How Come episode
Of
as a
course.
courteous host after a sexual experience. Jeena, did you finish?
Oh, yes, to completion.
Okay,
Absolutely.
Great. Pauline, did you finish?
No, but I'm gonna do the homework. and
Okay,
get a-
amazing. Okay, great. Thank you guys for coming, and we'll see you all next time on How Come.
Thank you for having me.
Bye.
It's not you, it's me. I try so hard to finish honestly. They say you'll know when you go all the way from A right down to O. Oh no, I think that I still got a ways to go. Oh, I'm sick of this and I have got to know. How come? How come? How come I can't achieve? How come I can't achieve? I'm rolling up my sleeves. I'm rolling up my sleeves. Oh baby, I believe these guests can help. 'Cause I can't do it by myself. I wanna jizz.
Hey guys, it's me again. Congratulations to our 2 Womanizer Premium winners, Amber Nicole and Nicole Friedman. You guys tagged the shit out of your friends on the Instagram giveaway and you won, and I'm so excited. I only have one other thing to say. No, 2 more things. One is we're doing another giveaway on the Instagram right now. I'm giving away my shirt that Womanizer gave me, not the one I wore, but one that looks just like it and doesn't smell like me. It says #orgasm is a human right. So if you want to win that, go to How Come Podcast on Instagram and tag your friends, have them tag you back, have them tag other people, tag. The more times you tag, the more times you're entered to win. So yeah, that'll be going on. And I also just wanted to take time to thank our wonderful patrons. Our new patrons last month, thank you so much. Josh Hall, Ryan Coyne, Pamela Goldberg, Sarah McClellan, Kelsey Bronze, TG, Tony Johnson, Dan Holland, and Ashley Sweet. Thank you so much, guys. And if you want to hear extra content like our patrons are currently doing and you want to see some stuff, there's video content too. Go to patreon.com/howcome. All right, guys. See you next week. Bye.